Hello and welcome to the Battle Room. My name is Colin, third in the world, and today I want to talk about a team that I found a ton of enjoyment with, and a team that I think you might want to look into if you're trying to climb the Battle Tower. For those who do not know, the Battle Tower is a post-game experience where you're able to get items such as TMs, training items, mints, bottle caps, all the good stuff is right here in the Battle Tower store. So, you're wondering, how do I get BP? That's what buys the items. And I'll give you the super secret tech on how to win in the Battle Tower. So the Battle Tower is not easy. And most of the time to climb in the Battle Tower, you have to have a very cheesy and gimmicky team. And, well, I have one for you today. So my good friend Pato, who is a mod on my Twitch channel, passed me this team, and I was skeptical at first. And I think the goal of the Battle Tower is to grind as many resources as possible. I don't think this team is perfect, but it's way better than all those other teams out there. If you see a team that's offered that has 6 Pokemon on it, they're already trolling. But this team only has 4, because that's all you need is 4 Pokemon. These 4 Pokemon are guaranteed to get you BP most of the time. The only way you're going to lose is to a little bit of luck. But with a little bit of luck, you can get some pretty high ratings. My friend Pato hit 146 in there. I was able to hit almost 100. I was around in the 90s. And this was just like completely unfocused, just playing on stream. And I think what's really important about grinding BP is it should be really mindless. You should be able to throw on your favorite show, watch the show, and not really pay attention to the game. And just grind BP, because that's what you want to do. And I think if you have to use thought and you have to be like, oh my gosh, do I switch it in? Like, there's 6 Pokemon here. Which Pokemon do I even bring in the Battle Tower? I think that's dumb. I think it needs to be mindless. It needs to be easy. And I have the perfect team for you. For you. So let's look at these 4 Pokemon. These 4 gods in their own right. And let me teach you how to use the team so that you too can gain easy BP and get tons of these sweet, sweet items. So first, let me walk you through the strategy and what we're trying to accomplish here. The goal is to make it as easy as possible, but also win almost all the time, unless you get a little unlucky. So the strategy is very simple. You lead Dusknoir right here, and Azelf. And you're going to use Explosion to set up Trick Room offensively. You're protecting the 2 Pokemon. You're hitting 2 Pokemon, you're protecting your Dusknoir to set up Trick Room. The Dusknoir presses Trick Room, and then you're good to go. And then you bring in Torkel or Hariyama and you sweep, right? It's pretty simple. But it almost takes no thought. So now let's break down each Pokemon individually and talk about what they do to the team and what you should do in certain situations. So the first Pokemon you'll be leading is Azelf. In almost every single scenario, you'll be pressing Explosion. Fling, Drain Punch, and U-Turn are there for like utility, but for the most part, you're going to be pressing Explosion. There's nothing else you need to know. It is choice banded, and it just simply explodes. Now, this allows Dusknoir to set up Trick Room almost guaranteed. The only time Dusknoir really loses is there's a Walrein in there who can hit you with Sheer Cold. That can be a little tricky. I think that matchup is a little spooky. And also, there's one scenario when you fight Palmer and Barry that you can lose to a crit from the Outrage Dragonite plus Heracross lead. That lead is a little iffy, but that's really the only way you're gonna go down. For the most part, and I do think against the Outrage Dragonite, you might be able to U-turn and bring in Hariyama, and then there's a 50% chance that Outrage hits Hariyama, and that avoids the crit. So it does. That's really the only way is you're going down to crits or Sheer Cold. Basically, the Dusknoir is so bulky that it always sets it up. Azelf, you're going to click Explosion turn 1 almost every time. This team will sometimes beat people in 2 turns. It's so much fun. Now let's look at Dusknoir. So also, all these Pokemon are relatively easy to obtain, and it only uses 1 legendary, and as you progress through the tower, you're able to get potential bottle caps and mints. You can even just adjust, like you can just catch your Azelf in the game and start to adjust, and you don't even need to get like the right nature, because this game will start to help you get it as you go, because you'll be getting more BP. So I think what's really nice about this team is that it requires little resources. I've seen teams that require like Cresselia or Heatran, and that's just silly. Like, I need to get the resources to get those Pokemon. So this is all, Azelf is the only one, but I think Azelf's so important that it needs to be included as well. But for the most part, this team is very little resources. So the Dusknoir is pretty simple. It's designed to live the Outrage plus Earthquake from the Dragonite plus Heracross lead. That was a lead that Pato was really frustrated with, and a lead they really focused on a ton. But for the most part, this Dusknoir is incredibly simple. I do think Shadow Punch is better than Shadow Sneak that you see up there. My Dusknoir is a little dated. We did come up with Shadow Punch as a better alternative. Well, Pato did. But for the most part, you're just going to press Trick Room with Dusknoir, and then you're going to look at the 2 Pokemon and press the super effective button. You're going to press Rock Slide, Ice Punch, or Shadow Punch, whichever one you want to do the most damage. It's really simple. You don't even have to think that much. Half the time, you can just press Rock Slide, like, to be honest, just to hit both of them, break sashes, all that stuff. So that one's pretty simple. Azelf presses Explosion, turn 1, and you press Trick Room with Dusknoir. So now, Azelf faints. Who do we send in next? Well, I'll answer that for you. We send in Torkel. So Torkel, if you didn't know, is a Pokemon that is capable of dealing insane damage. And he may seem really small and unintimidating, but Eruption with Charcoal is absolutely insane. So, turn 1, Explosion, Trick Room. Turn 2, Eruption, super effective move. And that's all you got to do for the rest of the game. For the most part, you're going to be pressing Eruption. If Torkel takes damage, press Heat Wave. And if there's a Pokemon that's 4 times weak to Grass, specifically like Rhyperior, Quagsire, or Gastrodon, you're going to use Solar Beam and Ancient Powers for those pesky Flash Fire Pokemon. Choice Specs would be a little bit better, but because of Heatran being very prominent in the Battle Tower, Ancient Power is just really nice, so you don't have to lock yourself into there. Basically, you just always Eruption, unless you're seeing a Fire-type Pokemon that has the ability Flash Fire. That's basically it. Otherwise, just Erupt. Like, even if you think that you shouldn't Erupt. Trust me, it works. This strategy is perfect. So now, basically, that's all you got to do. Most of the time, you only need those 3, but there is a 4th Pokemon because we can use 4 Pokemon. So, let's go into the 4th Pokemon. Last but not least, we have Hariyama. So basically what Hariyama's goal is so sometimes Dusknoir will get flinched. Or something will happen, and what you'll do is you'll bring in Hariyama instead of Torkel. If Trick Room doesn't go up on the Explosion turn, bring in Hariyama, because you're going to fake out, set up Trick Room again. It gives us a second option, while also giving us a Pokemon who's amazing in Trick Room. Hariyama sweeps just as well as Torkel, but you're bringing in Torkel because he speeds up the process. Eruption, Explosion, seriously, 2-turn battles. But Hariyama does speed up the process a little bit, and it gives you this perfect way to potentially recover if something goes bad on turn 1. If they Rock Slide you, or something happens, and you can't set up Trick Room. And so Hariyama is basically that insurance factor, and also just a secondary sweeper. But for the most part, you're not going to see him very much. But it is good if something goes wrong. So overall, I think this team is incredible. It gives you easy wins. It's autopilot. You can just watch TV, do whatever you want, take a bath, cook dinner, and this team fights for itself. That's the great part about this team. And it's very easy resources. Obviously, you'd prefer like Brave or Quiet Natures. But you can get those through the mints in the Battle Tower and slowly improve this team to keep up with what your goals are in the Battle Tower and get as much points as you can. I also think, again, it's just very easy to obtain, and it's very, very efficient at what it does. Sometimes you can lose to hacks, but for the most part, what team isn't going to lose to the random bright powders in there? But I think this team is incredible, and if you really need to farm BP, I don't think there's a better team. I think anyone else on YouTube telling you there's a better team, they're wrong. This is the best team for farming BP in the Battle Tower. 3rd in the world approved, okay? I've played in the World Championships before. I've gotten 3rd at Worlds. This team is perfect. I seriously can't think of a better Battle Tower team. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it. The Poke Paste is down below if you want to make it for yourself. Again, you can go through the video, see all the moves, what you want to do. But for the most part, I think this team is perfect. It's perfect for what it does. My goal is to get around 500 wins. I've yet to accomplish that, but I think this team can do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Again, thank you so much for Pato for giving me this team and showing me how to use it. I'm not the creator of this team. I was bestowed it by Pato. Pato is the creative mastermind behind this, and I have to give all the credit to Pato. Pato's a god, and I think this is a great way to farm BP in the Battle Tower. Just in case you doubted the strength of my team, let's do a quick battle in the Battle Tower to showcase the pure and insane strength of Explosion Azelf plus Trick Room. Sadly, my opponent did go for a protect, so I wasn't able to get a 2-turn win, but I did get a 3-turn win, and this just shows how strong this team can be. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you very much. Bye.